you can
Right.
use it for real sick time or immediate family.
Right, but I mean, well, usually when immediate family means people that live with you.
In the house.
Most people assume that, but with FMLA, they don't have to live with you, like your parents, your mother and father,
Right.
you know.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's why they have the different categories broken out in the state system, because there's just so many, opportunities for someone to take the wrong one or do the wrong, take and assume the wrong thing, so. I mean, we can work on it, it's just a suggestion, nothing carved in stone we have to use, I thought it was a good little tool that might help us, that's all.
Okay.
And the next one is a form that for a leave of absence. This is for an extended leave of absence, and because insurance is done by a monthly situation. You're usually insured for the month that you're in. So once you become a without pay status and you're out for a certain amount of time, your insurance in theory stops. So unless we decide to take and fund it for that what reason. So the state doesn't do that because they're too cheap. And understandably why they do that. So you have a form where you can fill this out and figure out all the deductions. So basically the person that's out on an extended leave without pay, that don't have any leaves accumulated and don't want to lose their insurance coverage, they can fill this out and sign it. Basically it becomes a contract that they're going to pay us back, and they can keep the insurance coverage going while they're out. I don't know if that's something we want to look at as part of a personnel plan or not.
Because I know currently the town picks up short-term and long-term disability costs. It's
That's
a dollar.
insurance, right? But that's not their medical insurance.
Right.
So if they're on a leave without pay status, they might be getting paid for short-term disability, but
I think that's where we looked into the providers that you can buy additional insurance type thing, where if you get injured, you're out of work.
And stuff
Right.
like that, right.
And quite a few of the employees met with them, but I don't think anybody was ready to jump on and go
That's
to that.
because they didn't need it yet.
Yeah.
But so I say,
And I know some places have it where you can continue the insurance if you have short-term disability. You can either pay it out of the short-term disability you're receiving, or you end up paying it when you come back. It's
Right.
deducted from your payroll
Oh,
period.
Never heard
and that's
of that,
what
but
that's what
a
this
good
does
idea
right
too.
here. That's
That's what that does too?
Yeah.
Right, and it just
So
sets
you're
up
not saying
schedule.
paying back personally, but you're saying that you can set up a payment plan
Yes.
to.
Right,
Exactly.
they take it out per pay period
Mm-hmm.
until it's paid up.
Right, because you have here you can figure out basically here's your health benefit deduction, your dental benefits, and any other deductions on the other page. Then it says I so and so agree to have health and dental benefits contribution deducted from my biweekly, because we do biweekly at the state. Check as a result of my leave of absence without pay using an alternative one highlighted below. And the alternatives down here is one-time payment upon return to work, equal payments determined by the number of deductions missed after a leave of absence without pay, so when you come back to work, or equal payments determined by the number of deductions before the leave. So if you want to pay it before you go out, you can do it. So you have a number of different options that you can do here. And how you want to take and keep, so you keep your coverage. It's kind of like a COBRA, but without actually paying.
So I can create a template like that just for that rare occasion that we would have a.
If we have it, I mean, it's just like I say, it's just a tool for to make it simple and easy in case we ever run
And
into
what
that
is it
situation.
called? It's called a.
Deduction authorization and reimbursement form for leave of absence without pay. So, and I say it's just for those off chance situations we might end up having something put down sometime down the road.
Have it ready and have it in place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just proactive.
Yeah.
Proactive. So you guys wanna look at it some more or talk about it some more?
No, like I say, I want to print that out so I can just
Alright.
keep looking. I want to look at it a little bit.
All right.
I ran across them because some of the things that I have to do, so I just thought I'd pass it on.
I know I do have quite a few templates from the Department of Labor that
Yep.
they give you as a recommendation to have available, and put your logo, your header, or
They may actually have that one too.
yeah, I'm not
Maybe.
sure. I don't recall seeing that one, but that
Yep.
is
Alright, this I think we have in our packets here is snow rental.
Snow stuff.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so we got this here. The whole little there's a, what I sent along is the letter that we have, that we sent out to each hired truck during the, thing. It basically goes over,
Everybody have a packet?
No.
Make sure I have an extra one, make sure.
so, I mean, it has different ways, like right now, the state, they pay, a minimum per week, 10 hours per 2-week period, so basically 5 hours a week. You know, so if the truck is sitting, they're still getting paid, but they're not getting paid for an operator. And it's adjusted accordingly depending on how much they plow. Yeah, and along with fuel.
Which, are you looking at that letter?
Yep, that's not your package.
No.
Just-
No, it's not, it's just there.
So we have that here. I mean, this is just all examples of what, you know, they do, so if you wanna look at it, you're welcome to take them through it. And a couple of, 2 contracts. One's for a corporation, the other one's for a sole proprietor to take, and basically, it's very similar to, well, probably a little bit more involved than what we have as a town, but it basically has all the language that goes with it that takes and, you know, equipment operator rates, substitutions, equipment amendments, indemnification, operators permits and license inspections, all the required stuff that, you know, covers us as the hiring authority. And you have a supplemental equipment schedule, basically you list out all the equipment, what you have, and, so you keep track of what they have, so you can pay the correct rates. So, that was that part, which you have right there. I can tell you right now, the state hasn't upped their rates since 2005, they still use these. But part of that is also why they went to the 10-hour, every 2-week minimum for that particular purpose. Like last winter, it came in handy because there wasn't a whole lot of plowing going on. Some winters, you're plowing every day, sometimes up north. But as you can see, our town rental rates versus the state's are not the same. I don't know what you guys thought, but maybe we ought to see what the other towns are, paying.
Yeah, we should,
Okay.
that's where I'm.
But,
Um,
you know, and again,
And
I think I remember one time they had a hard time getting enough people to plow, and that's why they moved the rates up, because we're to encourage people to.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So,
I understand.
again, it's kinda hard to compare ourselves with other towns that may have, a greater pool that they can work with, you know?
Right, and I think the other
Oh,
thing,
absolutely.
is it possible that some of the bigger towns too have enough
Their own
equipment, that they just staff
Yeah,
the equipment with
Mhm.
employees from the town, so that it's a different
Yep.
Yeah.
situation where, Jeff in the past has, tried to get local licensed drivers.
Excellent. It's up to you.
Oh,
He's had it set up so that each route, they know their route inside out, and, the communication's there so that they know when to show up, when to go, when not to show up. And this has been, within the range that the past boards here have decided that in order to keep and retain them, where if you don't entice them with enough to stay just in Dunbarton, they may go elsewhere and say, well, I can make more money going here or here, here.
Right.
This way here, typically in
Well, I think what precipitated this was that, like, last week you said that, you know, they tell us what they're paying.
right, and that's where I have in my notes here that I just wanted to state
Right.
the fact that I misspoke in that when Jeff came in to give me these rates, he said that, the rates are, for snow removal are set by the town with the road agent, and this has been the, going rate for the past couple of years. And we have not had, and I kinda modified what we had for,
Yeah, so.
equipment rental, just to read snow plow removal, maybe that's not the right title, but snow removal rates for the town of Dunbarton. And Jeff emphasized the fact that these are individuals that have to bring their vehicles up to inspection, have them ready to roll whenever the town needs, snow removed from our town roads, so he feels that the simpler the better, and that he would rather not see a complicated, contract similar to what the state
Yeah.
offers us, or offers you for the highways.
No, I understand what you're saying, where you come from.
I think the one thing we did do, and I did it back-to-back just to save paper, is
Yep.
last year, the selectmen opted to put more information. It used to be a single sheet like this, and we added the contractor name, address, print, title, sign and swear by, or I certify that I duly authorized and licensed, whatever, and that the Board of Selectmen approve it. So it's more of a contract binding that when they
So
just,
we never signed these before, unless.
last year, we had this on the, well, actually, not on the snowplow, and I,
Snowplow, no.
correct, I just added that
Mhm.
today, based on the fact that Jeff was asking for a simpler, record keeping, but where I found it on the rental equipment, I thought, well, that's simple enough to add that same language on the, snow removal contracts, whereas this is more geared to the road highway department work that where we need to, hire someone within.
No, not looking to make it complicated or anything like that, but I mean, we just gotta make sure we just, I mean, the good old days of just a handshake isn't gonna cut it anymore, 'cause that's, gets us in trouble.
Right.
It has in the past,
Yep.
and it will in the future.
So right now, the 3 rates that he gave me, which are on the snow plow, which we couldn't get snow in a couple weeks, there's 3 types of vehicles other than the town equipment. There's a 10-wheeler that one individual uses. There's, I think he said 2 6-wheelers that 2 other plow individuals use. And then there's the 1-ton, which John Wigan does for the small side roads. So those are the 4, aside from the town equipment, that we hire to do plowing for the.
Now, this includes an operator, right?
Yes, and that's where the old one had 2 columns. If you look at this one here, I did not have this type of form for snow removal, but it had hourly rate personnel, hourly rate equipment. Jeff said that's just, we should have 1 column, operator / equipment hourly rate, just
Don't
keep
know
it
if we
simple.
can or not legally, cause I know, that's why I think the DOT has a rate per fuel because of the IRS requirements.
Oh, we had separated it before, because when you first started, they were, on our workers' comp, remember, we were
Yes,
deducting
and they
from.
were doing fuel too, and they got us in trouble.
Well, the workers' comp also, when we got it defined by our PLT, they said, no, they can't.
No, I knew that years ago, cause that's why, Mike Underwood, when he was mowing for the cemetery.
Right.
Before you came on as a cemetery trustee.
Yeah.
Had it, it's like, you wanna be on our workers' comp, it's like, you can't do that.
Right,
And that's what was in our contract, you can't be,
right,
because, that was when the Department of Labor had that changed legislatively.
yeah.
So it's been like that for probably a good 10 years now.
No, I understand, but the point is, you're saying that it's not legal to have.
I don't know, I'm not
Hourly
100% certain, I'm just saying that DOT doesn't do anything unless they have to.
And that is noted in
You know,
here,
in
in
this
these.
case, for a
noted in
reason, I
here?
mean, because they wanna keep it as simple as possible, that's why they have.
I can't understand these pages.
No, it's the last page, 14, it says here, operator pay grades. Note, due to IRS requirements, the following operators' wage allowances have been established for reporting purposes. These have been arbitrarily set to reflect approximate costs for an owner to hire a competent operator in the following categories.
And all these individuals would be 1099 individuals.
Well, no, it's up to the individual operator, or the owner, it's up to them to take care of it themselves, not us.
No, but my point is,
Yeah,
our
ours
winter,
would be 1099.
ours are all 1099, and they
Yeah.
have to pay their own taxes and insurance.
Well, it depends, are they as a sole proprietor, or are they here as, like a business, like say, Crosby Construction, hypothetically, then we'd be paying Crosby Construction, and that's up to the individual person to pay out their wages to whomever they have hired,
Right.
Okay,
and the stuff.
So
But-
if you.
But that comes under his business plan when he files with
Right.
IRS.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if you hired Nichols to plow and it's under his construction company, you're paying the construction company, not paying Bill.
But if you hire Brian Pike to plow, and I'm, just me, Brian Pike,
Yeah.
then yeah, you could probably, send me a 1099, that'd be fine. But if you hire, Pike's Garage, as my garage, and you'd be just sending me a check, and it's up to me to record that in my business side.
I think they bill us differently for, Nichols Garage is strictly for equipment and repairs. Bill Nichols, I think there's a different vendor.
Well, it depends on how they
for
take and sign this form, because if they sign it as a sole proprietor, then so be
Okay.
it. You know, if they sign it as a business, you know, doing business as
Well, do we want to?
Joe Blows, plowing.
Then maybe we shouldn't have that.
That's why the state has two forms, one for a sole proprietor and one for a corporation,
Mhm.
or, you know, of that nature,
Business, yeah.
a business.
LCC.
That's why you have two forms.
Okay, so how do you wanna handle this? Do you wanna revisit the
Yeah, we
hourly
need this.
rate? Do you want to, this
Not
was
so-
just
Not so
given,
much of a rate, I think more as the contract, it's pretty
okay,
anemic.
but you would rather see two columns, one that shows hourly rate, personnel, and
Well-
out, because,
I can ask our finance folks, or you can see, you know, maybe we can, you know, what are our accountants there, do the auditing and stuff like that, if they would know.
I don't think he would, but, Beam Assign might know.
Yeah, being assigned.
We must have some resources that can help us out on that, just to be on certain, because, like I say, the
I just don't
DOT
wanna
would not
put-
list it out as the IRS requirements if they didn't have to.
So
They've worked it
your
too long.
question then again is, do we need to list hourly rate personnel separate from equipment?
Right. Is there an IRS requirement for that?
Yeah, on our.
'Cause that's what it says on the state's document, there's an
Right.
IRS requirement. Is there really? Yeah, don't know.
For corporations.
Yeah,
Exactly, I mean, maybe if you
Because
want to.
that's a complete difference in
Mhm.
a person who owns his truck and does the
Right.
plowing, cause he's doing his
Mhm.
business. When they file that,
Yeah.
small employer,
There is no
you're,
hourly wage for him.
No.
you know. But if it's.
it ends up being whatever
Mhm.
he ends up making
Mhm.
altogether, you
Yep.
know?
Right, I just don't wanna, we're already getting close to the end of October here and,
Yeah.
right,
well, that won't stop us from plowing snow.
yeah, but we do wanna get this in place
know.
and have,
Yes,
are they
Yeah.
all, they're current with their certificates as far as insurance, but if you're of the, you know, means to have policies in place and have
Mhm.
something signed by that individual, then I think we need to act on this.
Oh, yeah.
mhm,
So,
no, absolutely.
so
It's not
basically.
gonna snow anyway.
I hope you're right. So basically, just find out
We're in a drought.
oh, you know, I've got more to talk about that after, but,
Yeah, no problem.
so your question, Brian, then, is to find out if it's required by the RSA to separate,
IRS.
IRS, that's what I meant,
Mm.
IRS,
Mhm.
to separate the hourly rate from the equipment rate
Mhm.
as an employer.
Well, as, you know,
And-
employers, I guess, I mean, yeah, for the company that's plowing us, our roads. Again, you know, talking apples and oranges, you're talking a sole proprietorship or versus a company that's doing business as, even though it may be the same, one person.
Mhm.
I believe last winter, Jeff hired Dave Nault to plow Kelsey Road, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm sure Dave didn't do it as a business, he just did it as Dave Nault. But then you got Crosby Construction, you know, cause he gives us bills as Crosby's Construction.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming that, you know, then it's a whole different ball of wax there, I mean, apples and oranges. Even though Jeff is probably a sole proprietor,
Okay,
that's how he wants to do business.
all
Might
right.
not be, I don't know.
All right. So do you wanna table the same thing with the
Yeah.
equipment rental? Where I had combined the two columns, this was the old,
Yeah, well,
and then I showed the new. Again, we haven't set the rates for this, but,
Yeah.
this would be a little bit different, depending on what the equipment was that the individual had to rent out to us then,
no, maybe look at something wrong.
Well, we're getting the equipment plus an operator is what you're saying.
right,
So there probably ought to be two separate columns.
Oh, this is equipment rental for other stuff, like hauling.
right, this is
Okay.
for like road work, construction and, yeah.
Right, okay.
So again, this was the old, which I wrote old on, and then I did a new based on the conversation I had with Jeff saying that simpler the better. The fact that an equipment rental, typically, you hire them with an operator, and it's
Yeah.
a set fee per hour for the
Not
machine,
always.
and, well, that's if we rent the equipment ourselves.
Right.
But-
Well, I mean, we do that all the time at the state, the DOT for like mowers and stuff like that. We'll rent mowers from, you know, Joe Blow,
Well,
whoever.
then we wouldn't be filling this out if
Right.
we were renting our, equipment from,
Right. And we supply the operator, cause the,
correct, but that would be completely separate.
right.
For
Right.
tractor broom, for example, we
Right.
rent from that equipment, the
Exactly.
sweeper that
Mhm.
we, you know, Pete drives
Yep.
that.
Exactly, we supply the operator.
So table that for now.
Yep. And, well, and if we rent equipment like that and we're supplying the operator and we're doing it,
Mm-hmm.
then we can actually use our own fuel to put into it too, because it's under our control.
I think they do that,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause we do that all the time with what they call rental equipment. But if we rent it like snow plows with the, you know, it comes with an operator and all that stuff, and they're doing it as a business, then they're on their own.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's focus on the snow plow one first, then we can figure out
Yeah.
the other one after.
Yeah, I'll try to get that answered next week. Alright.
Any thoughts, guys?
No, I'm good.
No.
You also want me to check around other towns, right?
If possible, yeah.
Either make a couple phone calls or send out a couple emails. and,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
If, maybe Joanne might go help you out, or Allison.
Okay,
Do we have anything else for the good of the order?
I do.
Alright, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
No. Alright, I'm not,
kidding.
this may be repetitive, but I know the Boston Post came, we had discussed it with, and trying to determine who was gonna get involved with it. I reached out to Historical Awareness, they said it wasn't under their,
Right,
Yeah, they
Historical
Charter.
Society is doing it.
so, Allison agreed to coordinate and find the recipient for the Boston Post cane, through the Historical Society. She also reached out to, Wendy Daly, who's with the 4-H club, who's done it in the past, the two of them. Wendy says that she has too many commitments, so she's not able to help her, so Allison said she would reach out to other Historical Society members
Mhm.
to assist her, and that she would coordinate the search through the Dunbarton Elementary School, so she's done it before, and she's very capable, so
Mhm.
she'll take care of that. Hopefully we'll have a recipient that we
Is she
can.
in the running? I'm kidding.
That's bad. Alright, I just wanna let the board know that we did have, Brandon Kernan from the Department of Environmental Services come in today to take samples of our potential community water supply.
Oh, good.
Oh, I did see somebody at the, over there on
That was me.
Sunday, I think it was,
Oh,
taking
really?
water. Yeah,
Anyways.
somebody with a pickup truck and they were loading up all kinds of containers.
Oh, okay, so, we walked over to the library, gently ran the water at the outside water source on the south side of the library, then proceeded to enter the cellar to locate the well. That was interesting.
Well's inside the building.
It is. He noted that there was a fairly new water system in the basement, but then when we went to search out the well head, we found that the location of the well, is directly below the cap that's in the ground around the concrete on the outside by the spigot.
Mhm.
So what was visible from the inside was letting water in onto the water head, which could cause
So
potential
runoff.
contamination. So we had we took the hose off, ran the water gently, and we went into the basement. And when we got into the basement, finally, it was in a small crawl space,
Mhm.
the well head was right in the middle, and what was
The potential
pooling up on the
contamination.
top was dripping right into the well, the pump right in that
Mhm.
area. So he said that it's possible that there's contamination going into
Yeah.
the water, just from the water
On
and
the outside.
whatever's on the ground. So that was a little bit
How
of,
long will it take them to get us results on their testing?
well, let me just finish here. He said his concerns is that this that any contamination on the above surface
Mhm.
could seep into the wellhead and contaminate any water getting back into the well. Brandon said that there were, different types of bacteria, some that are acceptable, where others would make you sick. He took 4 tests that he's going to process, which would determine if the water would be acceptable for others to use. 2 of the test results will be back in about 2 or 3 days. The other 2 would take a little bit longer. So he didn't seem really concerned, but he needed us to know that there is some issues going on over there. So I said, well, this is good to know, we'll
Probably
bring it.
been like that for 100 years.
Yeah, 'cause it's in the small crawl area and it's
Yep.
it's nice and clean and neat, all
Is
concrete,
it a
but
dug
it's,
well?
no, it's
It's an
It's
artesian well? Can't be an artesian well if it's inside the building.
well, I think we built the building around it, right? Is that what happened or something? I don't remember.
Well, they had an artesian well back then in the 1900s?
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
Well, that
Oh,
well.
it has to be more than a dug.
Yeah, but that well, I think, at one time, kinda like serviced
Yeah,
this
it
whole
did.
community,
Right,
this
right.
area, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Right,
Yeah,
They
so it's
cut
gotta
that
be
off-
more than a
They
dug
cut that
well.
off like in the 70s or 80s.
It's gotta be
right?
more than a dug
right,
well.
right. So while we were walking across the common, I asked him for a few tips that we could pass on to the residents to educate them. And he said he would send me links that would enable the public to enter their test results of their water
Mhm.
and help them improve their water quality without breaking the bank. So they have a tool that they have on their website
Oh,
that you
cool.
just put in all your water test results, and they may say you need this type of filter, you need this type of, or turn your filter on your faucet a different way. So I thought that was interesting. We'll post it up here on the board in the building department and maybe get that up on the website as well.
Absolutely.
So that'll be,
Yeah,
and then he also said that if the board is interested in having a education class for the public to learn about water and wells and whatnot, they offer that service as well. They can meet at any area that the town chooses, schedule some kind of meeting, informational meeting that would, you know, I bet you would get a good turnout on that
Maybe.
as far as,
I'll be interested, that's for sure. I mean, all for it, but I mean, I just hate to bring them out here and only have, 2 people show up.
yeah.
Both of them being selectmen probably.
I don't know, everybody, we demoed our house on our land last July,
Yeah.
and we just happened to decide it's a 220-foot drilled well.
Mhm.
And we said, well, we were using it for watering, we've been drinking it all summer, let's test it just to see.
Mhm.
Well, we came back and there was, bacteria in it, so it's like,
It's
okay.
probably from sitting for so long.
Well, that, or, it's an open, exposed well,
Okay.
and it has your seam where the metal matches the metal, but the water can still get in there, and they said that it's,
On the casing?
no, it's a metal flap that sits on the top, and that the pump, the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
system's
okay.
outside.
That's
But
right.
they said that birds can sit on there, and water can just seep in there, and, but again, it
Maybe a
could be,
gallon of Clorox and.
well, that's what we did.
Yeah,
We
bleach.
did. But that was a little
Turn your
surprising,
water
is to hear we were drinking all summer, I said,
Ah,
I feel
you're
fine.
fine.
But,
You'll be fine.
Good constitutions if it didn't make you sick.
Some of those germs won't hurt you.
Yep, okay. And then I was going to inform you that, the highway department, or Jeff said that sign us up for the class, but when I logged on to sign them up, the class was full. So we have we're waitlisted for the 3, highway department crew. Let's see if they can create another class, or
Yep.
if there's any availability that comes up. And I also wanted to let you know that in your packet, I had, printed off the email because I was concerned about the time that's lapsed with, setting the tax rate. I'm on a fine schedule here to set the rate, run the warrant, have the Board of Assessors get involved with their signatures, run the tax commitment, print the bills, and get them all out in the mail before November 1st. So it's a very short window, and the fact that I haven't heard from them for a couple of weeks prompted me to call, email her today, and she said she was, as it said in the.
We can't be alone in that though, I'm sure they must be.
Oh, no, yeah, but our town's usually typically very quick. We're usually one of the first ones to get done because we're a small town, there's not a lot of, complicated,
Right.
funds
And we
that they
get
have to
stuff
work
in
on.
early too, usually.
Yeah, so she did say that she could work with the town side and get our revenues, confirmed and, our MS1 totals which I've already taken care of with, another department
Mhm.
at the DRA, so hopefully I'll have at least our information ready to go, and like you said, if I get any more tax rate information for the town's portion, I'll forward that on to you guys.
Thank you.
So that's a conference tomorrow at 12. And then just an FYI, posted, looking for volunteers to a scenic byway committee.
Mhm. I saw that.
I'm not having any luck with that, so I did forward the Donna responded, she's not available. Lorraine Allen responded, she's not available. Allison said she's just not interested any longer, and then, so I just forwarded it to John Stephen, asking him to send it to the,
Transition folks.
you got it,
Mhm.
asked it.
It's,
I thought Bob
What's
Ray.
that
Bob
committee-
Ray.
I guess my question is, what's that committee really do? I mean, because it's state highway, I mean.
Well, that's what Donna said in her
Right.
response, she said that the job is basically done, the
Mhm.
signs are up. Now she feels that the town needs to focus on other things, so she,
Mhm.
set out some good reasons not to be part of this committee, but she also mentioned that perhaps we could look at people who live along the Stark Highway. And, her concerns was that there wasn't a lot of draw for people to be coming through town, because there's no businesses, there's nothing to attract,
Right.
individuals to stop at the scenic byway route type, per se, where they just drive through.
It's a good motorcycle route.
Yeah, it's a big loop.
Yeah, so I haven't had any luck with that.
Teapot Tavern, it's gonna be open more.
I know, huh?
What's that?
The Teapot Tavern, gotta be open more.
Where's that?
That's my tavern, the
Oh.
Teapot Tavern.
Yeah,
It's a business open for the public.
yeah,
Oh,
she
you
just,
know, liquor license or what?
no,
No, not
just
liquor,
tea.
tea, tea
Oh.
pastries.
Oh.
It's the
Oh,
Teapot
that
Tavern.
kind of tea.
Yeah.
Real tea.
I like tea, but.
Purple tea.
You should stop in, I've got all custom blended teas by me and all homemade pastries by me, and I've got the license from the town to do it.
Yeah,
I was
The planning board okayed it and everything.
Anybody can print a license.
Yeah.
Just need a printer.
Hey, I didn't do it under the table, I did it legally.
I'm sure you did.
I did.
oh my goodness.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
I think as soon as we set that tax rate, we'll
Mhm.
probably be moving on to,
Budget.
budget calendar. I'll be sending out my memo here probably within a week to the
yeah, we're a
departments.
little behind on the leave, people's leave, to, remind them to get it used up.
By the end of October.
Oh, that was the beginning of October.
Oh, yeah, I know, but I just don't want, I'm,
Mhm.
the reason why I haven't jumped on it is because I do see individuals taking their
Mhm.
vacation. Chief's on vacation this week, Linda took some time, transfer station.
No, Linda doesn't apply to that because she doesn't have time,
Correct, but, correct,
she's
but-
elected.
And then I think Pete just came back from vacation, so there's, and I've got a remaining balance that I'll review and then get those memos out to remind him. Coming to the end of the year quick.
It does. It does. And the new guy at the transfer station has started already.
Yes,
Saw him there last evening.
yes.
Didn't get to talk to him, but did see him working.
I saw Griffin stop by this morning to pick up trash, and I asked how he was working out, and he said, well, he's working out great. He said,
Good.
he says, let's see how long he lasts.
So the trash pickup thing's going okay with the school right now, and having?
Well, we're back to 4 to 5 days a week.
Alright,
And that I had given, that assignment I had given to Woody to look into for dumpsters,
Okay.
because the time involved, I just, needed to put it back on
Yep.
his plate where
Oh,
he's at an
absolutely.
administrative level, I think
Yeah.
it needed to help me out.
He's still over at the police department?
Yes.
well, he's on vacation, right?
He's on vacation
He
through
is.
next, he'll be back next, Monday,
But in the meantime, he's still with PD.
couple of days, yep.
Is there anybody that might be able to give you a hand, like, Joanne or Allison, that could make some phone calls to other school districts and see how they take care of their trash and who
Yeah.
they use their,
Yep, absolutely,
haulers?
yep,
Cause I have a feeling it just helps speed up the process.
yep, I can do that, that'll be a good project for Joe.
Cause you get Bow, we're in there, but I mean, you get Goffstown, Ware, any of the smaller towns, even Chichester, for crying out loud, they got an elementary school too.
Yep.
In fact, it's probably about 600 yards from my fuel site over there.
similar towns basically, but
Yeah.
neighboring towns as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know Chichester's almost like a carbon copy of us as far as population and size.
Chichester?
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember that one.
Yeah.
And I know one of the selectmen said he works in DOT as well, downstairs in planning. So, we need to,
Okay, I will do that, see what we can find.
I mean, I understand the concerns with bees and stuff and all that stuff, but we've had dumpsters here before, I mean, I think if we
Yeah.
do it right,
Right,
I mean, it's reasonable and doable.
Yeah, and I wouldn't imagine that our school has a need that other schools don't have the same need.
Yeah,
You know, the
exactly.
bees and
Well, I mean,
wildlife and everything else.
And you put up a fence around it and keep the kids out, I mean, they shouldn't be over there playing anyway, they should be under the control of the teachers. They
Mm.
shouldn't be out there by themselves,
yep,
down where the trash is,
yep.
so. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, really, post it, I mean,
Yep, absolutely,
contain it and
Mhm.
post it.
Mhm.
exactly. Alright, anything for the good of the order? This looks like she's done.
I'm all done.
Well, I'm good.
Good. Well, I've been sending you guys stuff all week, as far as stuff, so
No.
I think I did all right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all set.
All set?
I looked at my email and it was loaded today.
Yep,
Sorry about that.
All right.
Alrighty.
and then mine's that times 10, and everything else
Okay.
goes through.
Public comment, folks? Mark?
No, I'm pointing to him.
Well, I realize that, but you don't have anything? No, okay, Leo?
Just, I'm curious about that, water treatment program that you're talking about, that stuff,
Yeah.
that,
The information thing?
information.
Yeah, the link, I'm gonna put it
Well,
on the
not just a
website.
link, but the, fellow said he would come in to town, or the state does the program where they come in and educate the
Train-
people
yeah, yeah,
about that.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested.
You'd be interested in that?
Yeah, if you
I'll-
do touch base with people and have.
Yeah.
Well, you
I
have
don't think they're looking for
3
50
people then.
people, I think if
Right.
you got
Then you have 3 people.
10,
Yeah.
no, but if they had 10 people,
No.
they'd be fine with
Yeah.
that, because.
Well, one thing that he mentioned, when we were here is that if we don't get any rain really quick and then the ground freezes,
Oh,
then
we're
we're gonna,
screwed.
then it's gonna be a long-term turnaround for that water, the well problem.
Right, and the lower the water goes, the more mineral content,
Yep.
Yep.
you know,
Absolutely.
Yep, yep.
So, arsenic content,
Yeah.
you know, so it's
not
nice
as-
to know what the heck's going on down there.
It's
you know.
not diluted anymore.
Right, so
Yeah,
it's,
I'll
well,
find
it
out
seeps
what,
in, yeah.
I'll find out what his schedule is and maybe bring it up
Yeah.
next week, that way as a public,
Oh, we might be able to have
Individual?
something at the community center
Yeah,
scheduled for
yeah,
Right,
if you're
Saturday
enough-
morning or something.
I'm sure they don't
Evening
care if
after.
it's not 50 people, they can deal
No,
with 10
yeah,
people and,
right,
you know,
right.
not everybody's talking at once, so they can get through.
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
you know?
Maybe we can do it at the school when the school's in session and something like that, and the kids can come to it, cause they like, they like to teach kids all that kind of stuff.
yeah, I don't know if it's,
Might be a little harder to get anything out of it with all the kids in there.
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
they can maybe do 2 sessions, like, let any parents are invited to come at the end of the day and do like a presentation and the kids,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I
I'm
will
sure
find
this
out.
fella's probably got an idea how they like to deal with
Yeah,
that anyway,
absolutely.
so,
It's just
you
a
know.
thought, right?
However it's done, I mean, I'd be one person that's interested in,
Okay.
Yeah.
participating in
I'll
that.
teach the kids, I mean, that's gonna take them for a while.
Cause
So-
artesian wells don't guarantee
I'll let you
anything
talk
either.
about your
No,
water
no.
situation then.
Oh, I wasn't going to,
Concanaway
but what
Forest,
was it?
Send,
if you
yeah,
go up
well,
that
I was just-
roadway,
yeah,
you see that
discussing,
casing from when they put
Training.
artesian well
training
in.
for.
And
you
when
know,
they
you
put
probably
that in, the
treat
people,
water, how to
well,
deal
it
with
was
water.
about
Yeah.
a week or so
You have to
later.
have water.
So had people up there.
Does
Program.
treat
I
water,
can
and
teach
they
you
have a
how to
program,
get
they'll come
surgeon,
in
let
and
me
do
tell
water
you.
there.
I can
That
make a
might
drug
have been a
last a
reason
long
why
time.
they weren't gonna
Yeah,
develop
so you
that
might wanna
area.
tell them about your situation.
Then all of a sudden,
Get that
Hey,
water
it
from the
became
hose
a
and-
parcel that the
If you don't
town
have any
could-
water, you can borrow some gin.
Like just
The water wasn't potable, forget it.
And you won't care if you don't
probably
have any
arsenic
water.
right on,
Vodka.
Gotta be something.
yeah.
okay.
Gin first,
And it's,
then vodka.
before he came for our testing, he had actually just come from Portsmouth or something, and he was doing a seminar or something
Oh,
there.
right, yeah.
So that's what he does, he
Yeah,
goes,
right,
gets the
right.
test, the water samples, and then he offers,
Yeah,
education.
Yeah, and I will watch for that link you said you're gonna
Yep,
post,
yep,
so.
yep.
Yeah, I know the DOT, or the Bureau of Environment, also does a similar program, but more for
Thanks
rain
for
and
dragging the
runoff
meeting.
and that kind of stuff.
I-
They do stuff of that nature too.
Serious.
Oh,
Thank
So,
you.
not necessarily so much for the drinking water, it's more for the environmental side of it,
Right,
just
right.
runoff, and,
Right.
so you don't put salt in the.
right,
Well,
I'm sure this type of
wonder
class
when
would
my landlady
educate
just
people
spoke
on
about
what
Yep.
does
Mhm.
contaminate your
Because
water
Exactly.
versus how to
Mhm.
prevent it
we
from
don't use the
becoming
laundry anymore.
contaminated, so.
Jim Starr did a really good program when our kids were in elementary school on that. He came over with one of those little plastic swimming pools.
Yep.
And he, you know, he's just such a great exhibitor.
Mhm.
He had like crumpled up newspaper and covered it with stuff, and he made mountains and valleys, and they were talking about this, it was like an Earth Day thing.
Yep.
And I think he had sprinkled some instant iced tea mix here and there on like the top of the mountains, and then he made it rain, and he showed how everything seeped down into, and he had like stuff underneath, so it was a really good exhibit. So I'm sure they do all kinds of great stuff like that for the kids.
The DOT has it has a, you know, like, it's a diorama type of thing, that's about the size of this table, it's on a trailer, and they do that, and same thing, they have all different types of environments, I mean, whether it's a marsh, whether it's a highway,
Yeah.
it shows how water flows and how things travel from here to there, and you don't even see it, you know?
No,
It's
yeah.
education for the kids and stuff, so they,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
we're in a little public comment, so good
Well,
timing.
I figured I hadn't really planned to come down, because I'm kind of up to my eyeballs in elections and absentee ballots. I think I registered 10 people today just to vote, so
Good.
all I've been doing. I had brought in an empty milk jug. I was in a pinch, and my neighbor said anytime I needed water, if she wasn't home, just go, you know, grab it off the silcock. And I did, thank God I didn't use it for drinking, because after I filled my container with her hose, because I needed it for something else, about a week later, there's this moldy stuff inside, so I think it's because it came from the hose. None of my other containers are discolored inside, it just happened to be that one, so we had talked about, you know,
Yep.
marking that not potable or whatever if we.
We
let
just had it
residents
tested
use it.
today, so.
Where was that? The hose outside of at the
No,
line?
it's at a neighbor's.
A neighbor's,
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
different.
Right.
Yeah,
It's different,
and-
it's,
And
it
the
doesn't,
first
but,
thing he did today was he removed the hose and we trickled the water from
You're
the
right, right.
faucet, so you would wanna use the faucet, not hose.
Yeah, right,
Right.
you get a false reading.
and what I was using it for, I wasn't gonna be drinking anyway, so I didn't care that it was
That
a
was for
hose,
Mark.
but it just kind of backed up.
It's for
Yeah.
Mark's month.
Yeah,
But
scratching
yeah, it
water.
was for Mark above me, actually. Not at all, we never do that to him. I came back, now I forgot why I came down here. Oh, two things, while we're on water, I was speaking to somebody on Twist Hill Road, they came in today for some unrelated business, but, they have horses, and said, do you know if the fire department brings water out? They had somebody in Goffstown, a private company, do, the big, tanker loads of water.
Yeah.
And whoever it is, they're winterizing their trucks now, so they're done. So I did send, John, or I sent the fire department an email on her behalf and asked them to contact her, but just to keep you informed as to how it's affecting the people, cause it's kind of starting, second to the election, of course. It's kind of starting to become a topic of conversation with
Yes.
people, the drought and how it's affecting them, because they've lost their well.
Where are they located?
It's in Twist Hill.
So still, we're,
Back in the-
It's an old farmhouse.
Almost on the, I think
It's
it's
Scion
that,
Dutch.
Simon Odessa.
father's,
Dental,
Armin's,
yeah.
is Armin
Oh,
Dental.
Oh,
Dental place,
the
yeah.
Big barn up
old,
there?
Yeah,
the old place, oh,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
old place.
You
Yeah,
would-
The
yeah.
big barn.
They're
there's
well-
Armin's house, but it's Si's father's place.
Yeah, right, I know that.
So
That's
they're
how
out
it
of water.
Yeah, I
They're
coached
like-
the kids there for baseball and basketball.
Well,
They've
we
even
grew up
lost
right
their
there, too,
showering
so we
water.
knew all of that
Yep.
family, yeah.
Yeah, they've even lost their showering water, so,
But for horses, I wonder, you know.
yeah, but you know, but the horses, you know, I think you
Yeah.
Oh,
gotta
yes,
keep
yeah.
water in them.
Yeah, right, but I mean.
Yeah, I'm not sure the fire department has,
Kimball Pond, I mean.
equipment that can take
Pond,
potable water.
yeah.
Well,
So
they
would they-
could go into the purgatory pond and bringing it, you know, in buckets, but I mean, they got a lot, I don't know how many horses they have,
Right,
but
but I
that's
mean,
a
well, I
lot of
mean,
water.
the thing is, if you're gonna be delivering water like that, it's gonna be potable. And,
Right.
you know, for consumption, whether it's a horse or
Exactly.
cattle, I don't know if the fire department has that capability.
And that's why I just,
Well,
you
the
know,
other part
that's
is
why I
then-
just
Yeah.
emailed them and,
How many of these people have horses are gonna want John to start delivering water?
exactly. Well, I just kinda, I figured since he's, you know,
Well, the
He
National
would
Guard
be the
has
contact,
those,
so-
they call them buffaloes in the military,
Uh-huh.
water buffaloes, and they have for potable water, I mean, you know, if we had to, maybe we can contact them to, you know, just, if people start running out of their own wells and stuff like that need deliveries, like that, we might have
Yeah,
to do that.
like, I understand for the,
For the
human consumption and
Yes.
everything, but if you got horses, I'm not saying the horses can't drink, but
Yeah.
maybe there's another way you can get water to the horses.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't start hauling water to all the horses, and then
Mhm.
next thing you know, the guy with the pigs wants some too, and you
Yeah.
know,
Can you lead horses to water?
Excuse me? Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna tell her, why don't they just walk the horses down and let the
Yeah, but
horses.
you can't make it.
Well, maybe that's what they're doing, she
Horses
said
and
they
water,
were.
yes.
We should get a small centrifugal pump, fill a couple of, 55-gallon drums and bring them
Mhm.
home and.
I'm
Get
sure
some of those
they're
plastic
pretty
ones like that,
creative.
Yeah,
J-Stroms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
the
she-
only way you can do that.
Yeah, really my point in that was just that people are sharing
Yeah,
their
yeah.
their hardship stories,
Yeah,
and
right,
it
right,
looks like it
yeah.
is getting more
Well,
widespread.
John's our emergency management coordinator, so
And
we, gotta
that's
keep him
why-
posted, and if he needs help, let us know, so we can, anything special we need to do, or make contacts.
That's why I set it down there. And now for the reason I did come down, which was
Ah.
not water.
Oh.
Last year during budget time, I had mentioned that my copier was getting ready to go, and you had somebody come in and take a look at it. It was the fuser or the drum or something, and when we determined it wasn't worth replacing.
Mm-hmm,
And I'd said, I'm just gonna run it until it dies.
mm-hmm.
I think it's there. It's not dead yet, but all my papers now when I copy are coming out crinkled, so I think that the roller or something is heating so much it's crinkling the paper. So I wasn't sure if you needed the boards. Normally I would just email you on this,
Mhm.
but since the board is here, I didn't know if you needed their permission to act on looking into a replacement copier, especially now with the election around the corner. My copier is like always going. So, I don't know if you did, I suggested putting money in the budget for it just in case it did go this year. It's not gonna make it till the end of the year. And even Gary mentioned today, what's wrong with this copier, everything's coming out wrinkled. So it could be time, and I hate to do it at this time
We
of
own
year,
that one?
but
We own that one, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, we do
This
own
one,
that.
do we own this one?
This one's a rent.
A
No,
rental.
we own this one, but we have a lease,
Okay.
protection plan
Maintenance
on it.
agreement, yeah.
Yeah, which I'm going to expire at the end of the year and revisit a different contract because we ended up paying double the cost of what it cost for a new, because we went over on our color copies and our copy quantity, because everybody uses it.
Yeah.
So we never revisited the price per sheet,
Oh, okay.
from the original contract. They just renewed it and didn't realize that they,
There's a new copy contract for the state, I don't know if that's something we can tag
I
along to.
would love to tag on to that
Yeah,
because,
they've got brand new machines coming.
and this is for purchase and lease,
Yeah, I think, I'm not
purchase
sure
and-
what purchase, but lease.
which would be the protection or the service.
Yeah, I mean, it comes,
Okay.
basically they own it and they, we just pay like a monthly fee and anything breaks, you call them up there, Johnny on the spot to fix it.
Linda, that printer that you need, is it anything special or is it just a printer?
it's a copier fax, cause I do,
So it needs to be more than just a printer.
right, it scans, it copies,
Scan
it
and
faxes,
printer,
it's a,
yeah.
Pretty much
it's
all
the
of them come
Judy
that way
has-
nowadays.
Pardon me?
Yeah.
Any of the larger ones come that way, they
Yeah.
do